That this country is a hell for journalists. Well, then there are freedoms and there are responsibilities. The journalists are less than 1% of the population. And if anybody expects me to allow less than 1% of the population to destroy 99% of the population, you are in the wrong place.
With only one television broadcaster, the narrative was easily controlled by the former administration of the country. GRTS, the state broadcaster, was used as Jammeh's mouthpiece, and to the majority, seeing was simply believing. Yet thanks to exiled Gambians who suffered utmost brutality for speaking truth to power in their homeland, the citizenry was able to stay informed and mostly aware of Jammeh's shady dealings. Online radios such as Freedom, the Farton Network, Gynaco, and SMBC were unrelenting in their deployment of the internet to reach an oppressed population and tell its story to the world. The awareness campaign was launched across a wide social media view, exposing the unheard and unseen. Their efforts will pay off as the masses got increasingly wary of Jammeh's long-time 22-year rule. Dozens of journalists and activists followed suit, but behind the scenes, a popular and seemingly democratic platform, Facebook, became a battleground of its own. It was used as a medium to spread the word, played a vital role in ending Jammeh's run of tyranny. Young politically driven Gambians organized online forums in which the state of affairs was openly debated, and a committed majority unreservedly voted for the motion in New Gambia, which respects freedom and human rights. As we enter December and the anniversary of that change, young outspoken activist Aliu Bah, who was one of the few who risked his life to speak truth to power without a fake profile, vividly recalls those trying times.
Social media is so integral in the landscape of social movements and how they change the ethos of power, the narratives of power, the understanding of power, shifting power itself. And Gambia was not an isolated accident or incident in that. We came of age in a time when technology was booming, and social media became a force, where dictators were trampled upon. The Arab Spring is a clear manifestation of how social media was used to destroy dictators and to haul powerful words and ideas of truth against the unjust powers that be. I was just following in a long tradition that has been here before Gambia's political impasse, and Gambia has decided being a moment, a metamorphosis that ended up in a moment that played a key role in awakening our people, in enlightening our people, in making our people courageous, in showing our brilliance and our tenacity in how we destroy dictatorships. So is that important? So I had an account. I have a large following on Facebook and Twitter. I don't have a large following on Twitter, but Facebook is my mainstay. So I used it to say, you know what, you got to go.
But Aliu wasn't the only one. The son of a former higher education minister under the Jammeh regime believes with social media the narrative couldn't be controlled. The absence of monopoly was enough to take Banky Gray Johnson to the front line.
I think what social media did was provide us with a platform that was not controlled by a narrative of a tyrannical government. What Yahya Jammeh did very well was to suppress freedom of speech. He started it with freedom of the press, intimidating and killing off journalists, and then he basically did it with his money too, buying out media houses. We all knew about the Observer, the Daily Observer, and how he used GRTS as not only a state TV, but his own propaganda machine. So basically any other platform that was available right here on the ground, whether it be radio or TV or whatever, he had intimidated so many people and basically made everybody feel that there was only one narrative to go around.
Most Gambian artists became praise singers under Jammeh, who paid Psycho Fanny with cash. Unlike the majority, outspoken rapper Killer Ace knew it wasn't right and released a controversial song which led him into exile, leaving a young rapper with just one record.
One of the biggest tools, though, apart from Facebook, was WhatsApp for me, because like most of my advocacy is through music, like Kuboka Sigete, Gidekebi Makomon. Those are all songs that like pushed the revolution. And but Killer Ace was banned in Gambia. Like radios wouldn't play my stuff, GRTS wouldn't dare play my music. So locally, you know, and on the media in Gambia, I was technically banned. And even if I wasn't banned, you know, radios were scared to play Ace. So I had to figure out a solution to still get the message to the people. And that's when I realized, like, boom, I could do something with WhatsApp. I assigned a specific number that I dedicated specifically for fans in Gambia who wanted to access my music. And that number had like 1,500 people, like, and it expanded from like Gambia, not just Gambia, but across the world, right? I even had Gambians in Brazil. That's when I realized that you even got Gambians in Brazil or whatever. And it had like 1,500 people who were like, send my track, send me your track. To the extent where like, I never knew that WhatsApp could block your number. And they blocked that number based on the transactions and things that were going on within that number.
The December 1st elections found Tango Madi Jabate in the middle of his master's program overseas, but his heart and soul was with his fellow comrades back home.
Over the period, of course, the media has been severely suppressed in the Gambia by law and by practice. That is, there are laws that effectively suppress the media. At the same time, there were actions directed at media personnel, media houses to close them, harass them, you know, by the NIA, you know, the security forces in general, and which led to silencing the media hugely, you know, preventing them from doing what they normally should do in a normal democratic society.
Unlike Jammeh and his intimidating heavy artillery, young historian Kemo Bojan used his smartphone as his lethal weapon.
First of all, I'll start by saying that I call the revolution in the Gambia the social media revolution, because when you look at it, it was through social media that we were able to mobilize and then decentralize information. For example, you look at the WhatsApp groups, we call them the forums. You know, it was local that everybody called them the forums. That it went up to the last person that couldn't even speak English, because we could send voice notes to them and then tell them that this was what was happening. Social media was so important in the Gambian context that it was a place where everybody could meet everyone, and that everybody could share information. And then being afraid of going to the radio station. For example, we saw what happened to Teranga and then the other radio stations. You had your own account, be it with a pseudo profile, be it with your own name. You had an account that you could go out and voice what you wanted to say. So social media was the key to our revolution, and I call it the social media revolution in the Gambia.
The social media narrative still continues, but as winds of change finally settle to a new democracy, Gambians are steadily getting used to the new environment of human rights that guarantees individual liberties and freedoms. I'm Ibrahim Cham.